Hello, my friends. This is Jessica. This is I Read to Relax, and I am here today in my book room to pick out my May TBR. So I'm going to be completely upfront, and I've been struggling a little bit with my April TBR. So, as I was saying before my dog went crazy, I've been struggling a little bit with my April TBR. I have just not been in the mood to pick up any of the books that I picked out. So there's still a couple days left in April, and I'm really trying to finish two of the books that I'm reading. One is an audiobook, or I should say another one is an audiobook, and it's one of the Brandon Sanderson audiobooks. So I'm definitely not going to finish it before the end of April, and that's okay because those books are chonky, and it's just going to be a May finish, which is fine. But what I thought I would do for my May TBR is rather than picking prompts and picking from specifically like my TBR shelf, which is over here, I thought I would do a like video inspired by Katie's reading when she shops her shelves and like goes back and really just looks at all of the books she has available and sees what she's in the mood for right then. Because I feel like looking at my entire collection will give me just a little bit more breathing room to be able to pick sort of what I'm really truly in the mood for at the moment. I apologize if you guys can hear my dog chewing on her toy, but at least she's occupied. So if you can, sorry, just ignore that. I also thought this would give you guys a fun opportunity. I can pronounce words sometimes, but I thought it would give you guys a chance to sort of see my shelves that are mostly unread. I have one other shelf in a different room that is sort of like my trophy shelf, and it is copies of all of my favorite books and series, the ones that I know I will keep like forever. So we're not picking anything off of there because I've read that whole shelf. But yeah, so we're going to start just working our way through looking at what I've got and what I might be in the mood for, and see where I end up. This is a combination of books that I've had for a long time and haven't read, or books that I've purchased recently. It's just a loosely to be read shelf. So, what am I in the mood for? Let's see. A lot of the ones here, because they are like paperback size, are more like contemporary romance or like paranormal, and I don't know if I'm really in the mood for anything in this row right now. Thrown in the Dark, I just got. Oh, you can't see that because of the way you're angled. I'm sorry. Thrown in the Dark is one that I got recently. That sounds really funny, but I think it might be a hair too chunky at the moment. I don't know. We'll put this in the maybe pile. And then let's see. A lot of these, like I said, are either paranormal romance or like contemporary rom-com kind of thing, and I just don't think I'm in the mood for any of that. Sorry, I just basically kissed the mic. Let's see. So we've got some Frederick Bachman books, some witchy ones. Yeah, I just don't think I'm in the mood for any of that right now. So we're gonna sort of skip this section of the shelf. I'm just trying to put the things my dog might try to destroy out of the way because she can be a little destructive sometimes. Let's see. Okay, moving over here. You guys can kind of see that. The lighting is really terrible. I'm sorry. Anyway, Valentine's inspecting the shelves very thoroughly right now, so maybe she'll come up with some suggestions from this middle shelf. But I've got a book that I picked up when I was in Savannah. I've got some others. I am interested possibly in this Mad Sisters of Essie by Passion Meta. This is supposed to be kind of like a fever dream, and I think it just sounds really interesting. So we're going to put that in the maybe pile. One I definitely am in the mood for, and I believe will definitely make it to my May TBR, is this Empire of Shadows by Jacqueline Benson. This one is like a adventure romance, and I'm just in that mood. Like, I want to watch The Mummy again like 18 times. So this I think will be in the yes pile. Okay. Moving down a shelf, so we're gonna look here. There's a couple that I have, like I have already read One Dark Window. I don't know why I shoved it back on this shelf. And I don't know where, oh, the other one must be on my TBR shelf. So maybe we'll think about book 2 in that. We'll get there. Okay, so let's see. We've got Spells for Forgetting. We've got Glow of the Everflame. We've got one of the Bridgerton books. We've got The Escape Game. This is like a YA murder mystery thriller, and it just sounds like something different than what I've been reading, which might be exactly what I need. So we're going to put that in the maybe pile. Sunrise on the Reaping, which I need to read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes first, and I think that's going to go on my May TBR because I need to read it. And I keep seeing stuff about the Hunger Games, which keeps reminding me, and so I think I should just finally read it. We've got Lightlark, The Rose Bargain. Ooh, I think I'm going to put The Rose Bargain in the maybe pile. I might have to put the mic down for this. Hold on. Yeah, because I feel like I've been watching the newest season of Bridgerton, season 4, and I just kind of feel like I'm in that mood. So we'll put that on the pile. And let's see what else we've got. Let's see. So we've got Lore of the Wilds. We've got some more witchy books. I just don't think I'm in the mood for anything super witchy right now. I love witchy books, but I just feel like I'm right now. I don't know. I feel like I need stuff outside my norm because I'm struggling. So we're looking for different stuff. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're potentially done with that shelf. And then I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you can see some of this bottom shelf. Not very well. But that's okay. So we've got, let's see what's hidden in here. Oh, Midlife Bounty Hunter. We've got a C.N. Crawford series. We've got Order of the Swans by Jude Deveraux. We've got A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. We've got some Annie Anderson books, some Leah Stone books. I do like Leah Stone books. So I'm pretty sure that Mate Finder is book 1. I will double check that. But yeah, I'm going to put that on the pile as a possibility. And I think that's it from here. So then let me readjust you guys so that you can see my TBR shelf, and we'll take a look at what's over there. Okay, so this is a little tough because not only is this shelf 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, there's no way I can get you guys angled to see all of them, but we're also backlit by the sun right now, so I changed the lighting up a little bit. I shifted the curtains so that you can actually see what's right here. You can actually see more of the shelf behind me now, and turned on a light over here, so hopefully that helps a little bit. But I'm gonna sort of just tell you guys what I'm looking at on the shelf, and then we'll go over there and look last. But I do have a book that I just got that I definitely want to put on my May TBR, Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke. This one I am definitely wanting to read in May. So I'm just going to take a quick peruse through my TBR shelf and see if anything's sort of shouting out at me. I don't know again what I'm sort of in the mood for. Oh, I did just see the trailer for Netflix's adaptation of Remarkably Bright Creatures, and I am now dying to read this. So this is another definite for May. Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. So we're definitely doing that one. Let's see. We've got The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. The Songbird of the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. We're gonna put this on the TBR again, and hopefully I will read that in May. So that's a good one. Let's see what else we feel like. I feel like the names could be interesting, because it's, again, not really the type of thing I read all the time. So we're going to put that in the maybe pile. Let's see. Raiders of the Lost Heart is too much like Empire of Shadows. Here's Two Twisted Crowns. I did like One Dark Window, but I just don't know if I'm in the mood for the sequel yet. I do want to read it though. Shark Heart's another really interesting sounding oddball one, so I might put that in the maybe pile. All right, let's go down a row. Let's see. I feel like most of this is stuff I read all the time, so I'm not really in the mood for that. To Cage a Wild Bird I want to get to, but again, I'm not sure when. Oh, I do want to read this nonfiction in May, Be Your Own Bestie by Misha Brown. I think that one's going to be great, so I'm sticking that in the yes pile. I've got some other nonfiction down here, but I don't want to do like more than one nonfiction in a month because I feel like that would be too much. And even though I've been reading like a lot of fantasy, romantasy, that kind of thing, I have not yet read Direbound, and I think this would be like the exception to the rule of wanting to read something that I do read kind of all the time. So I think I'm going to put that in the maybe pile. And I think that might be it off of this shelf. And then I'm looking. Let me move you guys again, and we'll take a look at this shelf over here, because that is a mixture of books that I haven't read and ones that I have read. It's got more like series books on it. So hold on again 1 second. Okay, so at the moment, I'm just mostly backlit, and you can see the majority of the books, which I think is our best option at the moment. So I've got a lot of like hardcovers up here. The Stephanie Garber, her second series that I haven't read yet still, but I don't think I want to start that one this month. A TJ Klune book, but I want to finish his other series first. Same with this one. We've got, like, I already read this whole stack. I do think maybe I would be in the mood for The Tricky Business of Fairy Bargains, but then again, I'm reading a Fae revenge story right now, and it's only half capturing my interest, so maybe this just isn't the right time. Maybe I'll put that one back. I did just read like a werewolf romance, so I don't really want to do any of that. I do love this Shayna Maguire novella series. I love them so much. And I just read one of those. I could probably read another one of those, but we'll see. I've read this whole book. I've read the majority of the ones. I actually have read all of the ones in this row. Like I said, a lot of these are like the parts of series that I've already read, and then others from the series are on like my TBR bookshelf. I think I think that may be it. I think we might have grabbed our stack of yeses and maybes, and it might just be time to go over those and make some decisions. So, okay, let me pause you guys and come back in a second. Okay, my friends, I tried to concentrate, books in the background, and not show you the messiest parts of my room. So hopefully this view isn't too terrible. But I thought I would show you the books that I think I'm definitely going to go with for May 1st, which I have a stack of 5. And then I think we'll pick 2 more from my maybe stack, and we'll just go with that for May. Because, like I said, I don't know what I'm feeling. I may end up reading completely off the TBR in May, and we'll just see. But I do like to have books that I've sort of chosen to give me some guidance. I'm not really a good mood reader, so we'll see. But anyway. So, like I said, book 1 is Empire of Shadows by Jacqueline Benson. And this is the first book in the Raiders of the Arcana series. It is a historical adventure romance. So the tagline says, "Nice Victorian ladies don't run off to find legendary lost cities." It's the first book in a smart, swashbuckling Raiders of the Arcana series. Read it now and dive into a rip-roaring historical fantasy adventure perfect for fans of Romancing the Stone and the Mummy. So I'm excited for that one. Like I said, really think it's time for The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. Um, I think with our political climate right now in the US, real life, the messaging in all of Suzanne Collins' Hunger Games related books is really, really important. And I saw an interview that she did where she talked about the fact that you really should read them in publication order because they sort of build the messaging upon each other. So I've read the trilogy. I have not read this one, and I have not read Hamich's book, but I really do want to read this one before I read Hamich's book. So I think it's time. Like I said, Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. This one's being turned into a Netflix movie, and it's supposed to be coming out soon, and the movie trailer made me cry. So it's about an older woman who works at an aquarium. She's the cleaner, and the giant octopus, Marcellus, sees her and observes her every day, and then observes the people around her. And her son had disappeared years ago, and she's still dealing with that. And it just looks so good. So, like I said, now that I've seen the trailer, it's really spurred me to actually read the book because I want to read it before I watch it. Yesteryear by Caro Claire Burke. This one is about a trad wife influencer who glamorizes the activities of the 1800s and then wakes up in the 1800s and has to deal with the reality of what she was selling essentially on the internet. And I just think the concept for this is so good. I am so excited to read this one. And then for like my nonfiction pick for the month, I really love Misha Brown. As a person, I think he's amazing. I love his messaging online, and he wrote a book, and so I want to read the book. So it is Be Your Own Bestie, a no-nonsense guide to changing the way you treat yourself. And again, I think that messaging is amazing. So definitely gonna read that one. And then let's go through the stack of books that I have as maybes. So the first one is Direbound by Sable Sorensen, and this one is a romantasy. It is a girl who goes and she's trying to save her sister, and she ends up having to bond with a dire wolf, even though she wanted no part of that. And it's supposed to be very, very good. Sharkheart, a love story by Emily Haybeck. And this one is in a sort of like sci-fi world where people end up turning into different kinds of animals. Not all of them, but some of them. And so this woman has to deal with the fact that her husband is slowly turning into a great white shark. And I just think that sounds like mind blowing. I I don't know. um then there is The Names by Florence Knapp. And this one is about a woman who is pregnant and she's going to have her son. And it has 3 timelines showing sort of the effects of each of the 3 names that she's considering for the son. So if he's named this, what happens? If he's named that, what happens? If he's named that, what happens? This one does have some, I believe, domestic abuse issues, so trigger warnings, double check on this. And then let's see. The Rose Bargain is a YA fantasy, sort of like Bridgerton-esque, but with fae. So the debutantes are allowed to make fairy bargains with the queen, but they have dire consequences. So I think that sounds fun. Like I said, I'm watching Bridgerton right now, so I'm kind of in that mood. The Escape Game by Marissa Meyer and Tamara Moss. This one is a YA murder mystery thriller, which again, I think sounds like it could be a great different option. The Mad Sisters of Essie by Tashin Mehta is a fantasy about these 2 sisters that actually live inside a whale, and sort of the tales of the sisters sort of grow to have a life of their own. One wants to stay and one wants to get out. Just sounds really interesting. Thrown in the Dark by A.K. Caggiano. I don't know why I had so much trouble saying that. A.K. Caggiano is the first book in the Villains and Virtues series, and this is like a funny enemies to lovers romantasy, I guess. Sort of like in the humor realm of like Assistant to the Villain, I think. I haven't read Assistant to the Villain and I still want to. So, yeah. And then the last one I had picked was Mate Finder, but I think I'm not going to go over that. I'm looking at it again and I'm not in the mood. So of the ones that I just went through, I really do think that the Escape Game is going to be a great option this month. I just think I'm in the mood for sort of that like contemporary murder mystery vibe. I think that would be a quick, easy read and it would be fun. So I think I'm going to add that. And then what do I have? I think, do I want a historic? You know what? I think I'm gonna do, Shark Heart, because I really was wavering with the Rose Bargain because, like I said, I'm watching Bridgerton and I'm loving those vibes, but I feel like it's, you know what? I lied. We're going to go with the Rose Bargain because I'm vibing with the Bridgerton thing right now. So I think we're going to do that. And then I think we're also going to do Shark Heart. More options. Why not? This one I think is just so weirdly interesting. And I think that will give me a very good variety of things. So let me do a quick rapid fire again. So Shark Heart, the Rose Bargain, the Escape Game, Be Your Own Bestie, Yesteryear, Remarkably Bright Creatures, The Songbird Ballad. Why can I not say this title today? That's like the 3rd time I've messed it up. And I should know this backwards and forwards because I've been looking at it for so long. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And then last but not least, Empire of Shadows. I'm so in the mummy mood. So I think that's what we're going to go with for May. Thanks for shopping my shelves with me for the TBR this time. Did you guys find it interesting to see like the collection of books I have on my shelf, like from what you could see? I know you weren't super up close. I'll have to get better at like angling you guys to my actual shelves, but I always think it's interesting to see what people have. Happy reading, you guys. I hope you've had better luck than me reading recently. And we're just going to move forward into full fledged spring with hope and optimism and great books. All right. Love you guys.